So I just wanted to provide you with some of the information about what we see is how these things usually are introduced, how the scheme comes out to you, and then sort of how they typically close the deal with those schemes. It's shocking that what common elements you see come up over and over again. Most of the time, these people were not looking for a particular opportunity. The opportunity just came out of the blue to them. You get an email one day. You weren't expecting an email at all from this company. You weren't interested in foreign currency trading or investing in some foreign currency deal or some precious metals. You just got a call. Some friend of yours said, hey, you should get in on this. I heard about it. Or you get an email or a call, like I said. Those kind of things just out of the blue are often things you really need to pay a lot of attention to. Why would this great investment opportunity just suddenly come out of the blue to you when the person who's running it could just take that themselves and make that much more money? So that out of the blue aspect of something is really, you're not looking for information on it. It comes to you. That's really a case where you need to say, I need to investigate this. I really need to be cautious about this. Another thing that they almost invariably are promised is that this money is guaranteed. You will not lose your investment. They will create words and phrases to make it sound like it's very legitimate. These quotes were actually taken from some of the cases we've investigated. And these fraudsters have scripts so that when you're on the phone with them, they know what to say. They're trained. They're trained professional fraudsters. And these scripts are amazing. They're so interesting to get. Some of the things they'll say in it is like, oh, the investments are guaranteed. It's absolutely no danger of losing money. If you invest with me, it's insured to go up. So they'll throw out any kind of term. Those kind of phrases, when it comes to investments, are probably the biggest thing you need to throw up a red flag and think about. And the third thing is that these returns are really good returns. They're a little bit higher than you would get anywhere else. So they're not crazy returns. It's not like they're promising to take $1,000 and then turn it to $100,000. But they'll do something like promise they'll take $1,000 and they can turn it into $6,000, $10,000 over a year. And to someone that may sound legitimate enough that they'll fall for it. The other thing is just sort of numbers that are almost this is too good to be true. It's something that just is really good. And we call it easy money, where they'll say things like triple the returns you can get anywhere else. Nowhere else can you get the kind of deal I'm promising you. And they'll give you numbers, and they're not going to be too crazy. They're not going to say, like, I can turn that $1,000 into $100,000. They're going to say, I can turn that 1,000 into 6,000, which sounds really good to you, but it's not crazy. If it's too crazy, you're going to know. It's not surprising to me that people get caught up in the fact that something great may have happened to them. We all want to believe that fortune's just around the corner, and sometimes it is. Some people do win the lottery, and I think there's that sense of, oh, it finally happened to me. I got this opportunity. So those are kind of the things of how the deal comes to you. They open the sort of, here's how they get your attention. Great money. There's no chance of losing it. It's just, all of a sudden you're lucky to get this. Then they've got to close the deal, right? They're salesmen. They're trying to get this, get you to invest in something. What does surprise me is how good these fraudsters are. This is their job. This is something that they're so good at because they're probably a lot of times not good at anything else. But they're really good at being ruthless, at lying, at having absolutely no morals, and saying whatever they need to do. They are smart. These people are ruthless and they are smart. They know how to work with you. They know, okay, what does she need? What do I need to do with her to get her to do this? I need to work with you. How do I get you in this? Okay, you want sympathy. You want to feel like you know me. You want to know that I'm credible. You might want to know that I'm something else. So these are some of the tactics that we see and how they deploy them to get you to close the deal. That they will say to people, I've given you more than enough information to make this decision. They're starting to put pressure on you. They'll do a little bit of a trade-off maybe. Maybe they realize, okay, they're not biting yet. I'm having to really push this victim to get them to do it. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll give you a 10% discount on my commission. Now, granted, you have no idea that I'm a fraudster and that the commission is all fake anyway, but they just promise you 10% off of nothing. They will say and fake anything to seem credible. If you're the kind of person that wants to see degrees on the wall, they'll run down to the FedEx office, print up a fake diploma, put it behind some glass, put it up on the wall. If you're the kind of person that wants to see a bunch of letters after a name, yeah, I can put up a business card and write letters after my name. If you're the kind of person that thinks, I need somebody who really knows this industry, they've been in this a long time. I've been doing this for 20 years. I've worked with people just like you for 20 years. They will fake credibility to no end. They'll also kind of deploy this tactic that we call follow the crowd. It's sort of this idea that they'll start talking to you about how people like you have done this. Let's say that they realize, this person is a war veteran. They'll say, I've been working with war veterans for 20 years, and this people at this place are doing, this event. They're all in on it, just like you. They're all smart investors, just like you. They're all in on it. And that's kind of building that sense that I want to do what seems like all the responsible, smart investors like me are doing. They'll talk about some special inside information that only they have. And we see this a lot in our commodities futures trading because the price of something can really be impacted by the news. A big hurricane blows through the Gulf of Mexico, knocks out a bunch of oil rigs, price of oil is going to go up. Well, these fraudsters try to make you think that they know that and nobody else knew it. If they know about it and you know about it, all the really brilliant people on Wall Street know about it too. Another pressure tactic that they'll use is certainly limited offer. They'll make it sound like not only do you have to hurry, it's only 2 days, but there's only 2 units left. So if you don't do it right now, you're going to probably be losing out. They don't want you to quite understand what they're doing, because if the more you really understand it, the more you're going to have the ability to question and know that this doesn't sound right. And they'll want you to they don't want you to think that they're not smarter, so they'll really want to dumb you down a bit. They want to make you confused. This was my favorite quote, actually, from all those cases I went through, was, I'm sorry, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand this. So I'm just kind of summarizing here the way the red flags are sort of the way they introduce these frauds. And these are really the 3 things to watch out for. It comes out of the blue. They promise you there's no way you can lose. And they make it really great. Easy money. It's not crazy money, but it's easy. Fraudsters do not like you to ask questions. The more questions you ask, they know the more likely it is that the fraud is going to pop open. And I have just sort of in my years of experience doing this, that I think these questions can really start opening them up if you just ask these, really 5 simple questions. It's just, how are you qualified to do this? What's your background? How are you qualified to do this for me? How are you licensed? Any financial professional out there that is selling you something you're working with, they need to have a license, or the company they work for needs to be licensed. Have you ever been in trouble? Have you ever had any problems that a state board of something has had to do? Ask these questions here, and then the kicker, we put the asterisk next to it, ask them to tell you how you can independently verify it outside of them. Ask them for what third party can I go to? We're not asking you to be a financial planner and have all these insights and become a lawyer. We're just saying make a phone call. Reporting fraud helps to prevent it going on, and certainly to anyone else that fraudster might attack. But in a much larger sense, it helps us to be much better about stopping fraud. For anyone that has any questions about investment fraud, I would say check with some agency, federal agency, state agency. Ours is www.cftc.gov. You can check there, check out the consumer protection area on our website and find more information.